Hello, Darren here. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you why you are not getting interviews for remote jobs and how you can change that today. Let's get straight into the video. It can be soul destroying when you don't get interviews for the jobs that you apply for. Maybe you have been ghosted. Maybe you are getting automated rejection email after email, and it really can dent your confidence. One of the biggest reasons why you are not getting interviews is that your resume doesn't match the job description. The job description will be listing the skills that are essential to the role. And if you do not have those skills on your resume, you are not going to get shortlisted for an interview. You need to take the time to go through the job listing and highlight all of the skills and the personality traits that the company is looking for, and make sure those exact words, those exact keywords are included in your resume. You need to be made aware that a lot of companies use applicant tracking systems, and they have programmed those keywords into the software. And if any of the resumes don't include those keywords, they get pushed aside and you receive basically an automated rejection email, or in some cases, no response whatsoever. Another reason why many remote job seekers don't receive interview invites is because they're too vague in the resume, and that's usually because they are trying to apply for various different roles. So my advice is focus down on one role. If you are applying for so many different roles, it's just going to make the process of applying for remote jobs so more difficult. Focus on one role for 3 to 6 months just to see how you get on. Really tailor your resume to that role, and then tailor it again when you start looking through the job description. Another reason why you are probably not getting interviews is that you haven't shown that you have the personality traits or skills to work remotely. Maybe you've never worked remotely before and you've always spent your time in the office. Even so, you still need to think about the types of skills that the company is going to be looking for. For remote work, you need to be in fact, an amazing communicator. You need to be able to work on your own initiative because, of course, you are working from home. You need to be well organized. And of course, you need to have some tech skills. You need to be able to use a computer and navigate the internet and learn new tools like Slack and Asana and lots of other remote specific tools and software. Another reason why you are probably not getting interviews is because of your cover letter. I find that remote job seekers kind of translate what's on the resume to the cover letter, just like I've got this skill, I've got this knowledge. No, you need to share why you are the best candidate for this job. You need to share why you are excited for this role. You need to share a little bit of information about the company that piques your interest. Why do you want to work for this company? What excites you about this particular role? That's what you need to get across in your cover letter. And down in the description, I'm going to leave a link to a load of guides that I've written about cover letters. I highly recommend that you check a few of those guides out and have a good read through them. They're all free and available on the Remote Hive website. If you don't get an interview, it doesn't necessarily mean that you've been making any of those mistakes that I've just talked about. Competition is tough. I've got to be honest, it's even tougher in 2025 and beyond because the number of fully remote jobs is reducing year on year. At the height of the global pandemic in 2019, 2020, nearly 8% of the US workforce was working from home. When the pandemic started to come to an end, that reduced to 40%. And we're now at 14% of jobs in the US that are fully remote. Most of them have either moved back to the office or become hybrid. So the competition is there. And you really do have to think about ways to stand out. I'm going to do a video very soon about how you can stand out when applying for remote jobs. But yes, it might just be that the competition is tough. There might have been hundreds of people applied for those jobs and you just weren't successful at that time. There were more people that had more skills and experience. On the screen somewhere, I'm going to leave a link to another video where you can learn more about landing your perfect remote job. If you do have any questions, please do leave them down in the comments and I will talk to you again very soon. Good luck with your remote job search.